I'm always struck with the book of Ecclesiastes, and when it declares to all of us that virtually everything is vanity except for God, it really does get our attention. I mean, it's one of those moments where you go, wow, wow. And then we hear in the letter, St. Paul's letter to the Colossians, that all of us are born to the resurrection. All of us are born to new life right here, right at the baptism font. And as we are baptized in Christ Jesus, we die to our old selves and we rise with Him in new life. And it's almost as if we're taken up with Him in the heavens in that moment. It really does become a powerful moment of faith for each of us. And all of that is meant to set us up for the gospel today, St. Luke chapter 12. And we have a man coming to him asking, okay, tell my brother to give me my inheritance. That's a movie some of us have seen. Okay? Some of us have seen that movie. And Jesus really takes that moment to do really a powerful teaching. And it's a teaching that really speaks to each and every one of us. Because if we say that we really are born again with Him in baptism, then we are changed. And the focus of our lives and the focus of all that we have going on in our lives needs to be Him. There's a story, I'll put it in the context of a friend of mine who had a serious illness. And he really was close to death. So they were doing the surgery on him, and he happens to be one of those people that had an out-of-body experience. And he found himself above the operating table and simply looking down at all that was going on. And all of a sudden, next to him, approaching, was, he said, a being of light. And the being of light kept saying, it wasn't a spoken thing, it was understood. It was a presence saying, what have you done with your life? Now it's not, what have you done with your life? It's not that. It was, what have you done with your life? What have you done with your life? Of course, he found himself eventually back in his body and able to talk to me again. So here we go. I mean, it's kind of, but it struck him so deeply that he realized what this gospel is really about. It's about what have we done with our life. And has our life been filled with the grace of God, the blessing of God, and God's love? And our focus been on the resurrection, on being with that light of Christ forever, and letting the light of Christ touch every single part of our lives. The gospel goes into specifics of things we are to let go of. I'm not going to go into detail. You got to hear it. But it's things that are not of God. Things that are not of God in our lives. And so, one of the quick checks that I had to do is, what am I doing with my life? And I go, I am the bishop. I am the bishop. Do I love my people? I do. Do I love my people? Do I love my priests? Do I love my deacons? Do we love our altar servers? And that becomes the question for you. In your marriage, or if you're single, or divorced, or if you're a little one, do you love your parents? And have you told them that? Do you love your brother and sister? And have you told them that? Yes, even the older brothers and sisters. Even those. Have you told them that? Because in the end, that's what the light of Christ is going to be asking us when we meet Him. And all of us are going to meet Him. All of us. And we gather together today in a special way to officially have Father Mariscalco as your pastor. When I sent him here, I specifically said to him, I want you to love the people here at St. Francis Xavier and at St. Lucy's. Just love them. Love them. You're not always going to agree with him. You're not always going to like some of the stuff that he says or does. And if that happens, talk to him. Talk to him. Tell him what you think. I mean, we're Wiggins. Yeah. And we're Loosedale. Tell him what you think. Tell him what you think. In the end, though, we're called to love each other in the midst of it all. And what it means to be a Roman Catholic Christian, and we are in a minority in the area, what it means, you know very well. You know very well. You know what it takes to sit in this pew. And we are very much waiting for the light of Christ to truly touch our lives and lift us to heaven. That's what it's all about. And that's part of what Father Mariscalco will do, and deacon, with the sacraments of the church. And calling you into that kind of intimate relationship with God that is forever. Forever. And that question that hovers for each of us, what have you done with your life, is what Jesus asked us. And it's what Jesus is going to ask him as a priest, me as a bishop, deacon as a deacon, you as married couples, single, whatever. That invitation is the invitation of faith, the invitation of hope, and the invitation of love in Jesus Christ. And he loves us into being as a faith community. I pray and have been praying for you as a faith community, because I know some of the journey that's taken place here. And I pray for continued healing of some of what has taken place. That the love of Jesus Christ will be at the center of who you are as a community of faith, as a sign of Christ, and as a Roman Catholic Church. Wow, that's you. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Continue to love in Christ and continue to be a sign of Christ with your pastor together, hand in hand. I'm with you, I walk with you, and I share in your life of faith together with you. So as a people of faith, let's now enter into the ceremony of Father Mariscalco as your